Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
This is such an ensemble fun film, and I saw that it could have been shot in anywhere USA, but you went out of the country.
We
You
went
know,
like 27 hours away is where we went.
you know, was that part of the enticement? I said, okay, we can do this, and we're gonna go to South Africa.
I mean, it's definitely a beautiful place to film. We were we are so very lucky to work with the crew there. They were absolutely on their shit, and it's a like I mean, you get to see the shots of our school that's just perfectly situated on a hill and perfect weather. So we got to kind of create the idyllic California, but kind of set it in fantasy as well. So it was wonderful.
And when you take on these roles, I like to think that when everybody takes on a part, there has to be a little bit of themselves in the character that they're playing in order to make it feel real for themselves. For you, right, Riele, how do you relate to Darby?
I relate to her in a few senses, actually. I mean, not in every sense, but I feel like her introspective sort of, she likes to be a lone wolf, she likes to be to herself. The camera is really her closest friend other than dead people, I guess, and she sort of, will throw comments back and forth at them. I feel like I relate a lot to just wanting to do my own thing a lot of the time and just being more of an introverted person. But we also differ in a few ways. I feel like once again, we're nuanced, right? So I feel like I also enjoy being outgoing when the time's right, but I feel like I understand a little bit about each character in this film, but specifically about Darby, that part of her resonated with me.
You can't be so much of an introvert if you're an actress. You got to put yourself
Believe it or
out
not,
there.
you gotta do both.
And what about you, Ali?
I got to really find new bits of myself playing Capri. Our director Silas Howard worked on Pose, a fantastic a series. So I actually watched quite a bit of Pose to nail like the walk and the confidence that those women portray in that fantastic series. But I don't think of myself as a mean girl. So that was a bit that I had to kind of tap into as well. And I just had to fall in love with my character. Like I had to understand where she was coming from and I had to love her. And I didn't care if other people didn't love the character. I only had to, and I did.
Now, when you do a film like this, and obviously for the film is mostly YouTube for a long stretches of time and so forth, what do you get out of it in terms of being an actress that, when working with Silas, that you can take on to your next project, having been in a role like this?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, just the way that he made the set so comfortable and collaborative is definitely something I'll take with me. Like we got to dig in to our characters and to the scenes that were happening and really find our own truth in it, which I feel like was powerful. And oftentimes on sets, people want to have more control in that sense. So even if I get onto a new set where someone wants to have more control in that sense, I'll still do my own personal work in figuring out where the story lands true, all the certain nuances that may be in a scene or that may be between me and a character. It just taught me to really take the initiative to do that work myself, even if, someone else doesn't want me to. So, yeah. And
what about you, Ali?
Yeah, well said. I also learned to trust myself more. Like we know these characters, and the work that we do, whether we say it out loud, whether we write it down, I think that I learned that I know more than I think that I know. And I ended up becoming very fiercely protective of not only my character, but especially the other girls in my group, who is played by Nicole Maines and Kylie Leah Page and Janaea Watson. Walton. They're just specific. They're very specific in how they wanted to portray those characters. And whenever a line didn't feel right, we were encouraged to speak up and change it, and advocating for yourself of in those moments of saying, I'm not going to make a fat joke. I'm not going to make a pimple joke because that's old. And again, we're not mean girls. We're just hot girls.
Well, congrats on the gigs. You two had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. We'll talk down the road. Wilson Morales, Black Film TV. What's up, folks? How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Mr. Wilson?
I was talking to everybody goes, this movie could have been shot in any town, USA, but you went to South Africa. You know?
Yes.
So was that part of the enticement to say, I'll go? You know, we all like to go to exotic places we've never
Yeah.
been before.
We want to go all the
Yes.
way across the world. It was an instant yes.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful place. I never could have dreamed I'd go there, especially, to go make a beautiful movie as well and meet so many awesome people. So, yes, that was very enticing.
Now, each of you have had your share of projects this year, last year. But when you to play these roles, I like to think anytime you play a role at all, there has to be a little bit of yourself in the character you're playing. So for you, Asher, how do you relate to yours?
I think with James, we're both very level-headed, grounded, and I think overall, I mean, we're
Talented.
You said what? Talent. Oh my god, yeah, talented. I love it. That's a good one. I think we share a lot of the same qualities musically, and I feel like we're very similar. Yeah.
What about you, Chosen?
I feel like Alex and I are both very positive people. I strive to see life from a perspective of what's the best case scenario. And even if there is a bad scenario, what's the best response to it? And I think Alex is a master at that. So I definitely strive to be like Alex in that way.
Both know how to dance too. No,
And you
both
mentioned
love to
music.
dance.
How good of a guitar player are you, Asher?
Oh, me? You want me to go? You want me to go get it? Okay, I'm kidding.
Did you play during the set any good songs, or was it?
I faked it with my fingers, Wilson, the whole time. It was just like, I'm kidding. No, I've been playing guitar, I think, for like 4 years now. So yeah, it was real. I was playing. Yeah, I've been playing guitar for like a long time now. So yeah, it was really awesome getting to mesh the two for a film. I've always wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you work on a film like this and you work with an ensemble, and each of you, like I said before, have worked on other projects, but when you're working with Silas, what do you get out of his direction that maybe you've not have gotten from other people that you've worked with before that you can probably take on to your next project? Did you learn anything new as an actor?
I feel like, and Asher, tell me if you agree, that Mr. Silas is phenomenal at promoting actors making decisions about the characters they play. And that was such an awesome experience, like from my person, Alex. I sent him a PDF of the fashion that I wanted Alex to wear, that I thought he would wear, and the music he would listen to, stuff like that. And I came to set and it was actually there. And, it's just such a freeing and liberating experience when the director tells you, yes, go with those feelings, go where your heart's leading you. And I definitely love to bring that into other films and put my fingerprint and my ID on the characters even more.
100%. Yeah, he is so collaborative and really, I mean, is so like you never know what you're gonna get when you walk onto a film set. So I mean, he is truly a gift, because us as actors getting to feel like we have a voice and getting to do that was super incredible. And yeah, like what Chosen said, when Chosen sent him like the photos of like his outfit and that actually happened. It was really cool because I for the song that I tried choosing for James, I wanted it to, they sent me some other song and I was like, this just doesn't, I don't feel like this connects with James. Like, I don't feel like this is James. Right. And so I actually sent in another song and I felt like it was more of him through the song. And people would relate with it more and it makes more sense. And, all of a sudden I'm up there on stage and I'm singing that song because of Silas and him trusting the actors. So yeah, it was awesome.
Shout out Mr. Silas.
Yeah, that man Silas is different.
Well, you guys made it work. Congrats on the roles. Keep it going, and we'll talk down the road next time.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Wilson. Nice to meet you.
Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. So I was telling the other actors, you could have shot this in anywhere USA, but yo chose South Africa. Was it the location? Was it the budget? Was it the atmosphere? How was it shooting down there?
Yeah, it was. I really. I think some of the reasons were one of our executive producers had filmed and produced 3 movies there, the Kissing Booth movies, and had an amazing experience with the crew and the location and the cast. And so it was recommended for us to go there. And we're 90% local hire. And so the crew was just phenomenal. And the landscape, I mean, where we filmed predominantly was over the ocean. So you could just see, it was one of the public schools which here would not be a public school anymore. It would be probably condos, but you could just see the ocean. And yeah, it was a really phenomenal experience and a learning experience for me as well.
Now, it's not that often you're directing films. You've directed a lot of episodes and pilots, stuff like that. So what led you to take on this project?
Yeah, I've done 3 features, but they're all independent, super micro budget, except for the third one had a bit of a bigger cast for sure. And this one I developed it for 2 years with the producers, and we pitched it to Hulu and a few other places, and Hulu really got it. And we did a few passes on the script. So I really didn't know if it was going to be a studio film or another independent film. And they really gave it the support to let it be a big film. Yeah, so it was yeah, and I forgot your question. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm saying, like, what led you to take on? Obviously, when you're choosing projects as opposed to that you developed it for 2 years, and now you've developed it. And granted, you've worked with large ensembles before, but was there anything new you learned in the process of doing this as a film, as opposed to an episode, that you can take on to your next project?
Oh, I think really just, the themes for me are always the deciding factor. Like, what is the theme of this movie speaks to me. And so that was a big part of it. And I think the learning thing is it's nice to have budget, to have fun things to play with. Our cinematographer, Auntie Chang, is a very, very talented young cinematographer. And he really pushed the visual imagery, and we had some fun in-camera stuff like rigging and for some of the physical manipulation. And I think it was great to have the support of that. I think the takeaway is just continuing to explore those themes. Yeah.
Matt, you have a big cast in there, but they also have Tony Danza, and he must have a new agent because he's just popping all over the place now. I'm like, the least expected places you would think of. Power, Hulu film. He's going to be on a new, and just like that, I'm like, okay, what'd you get out of Tony, knowing that he's the veteran of the cast?
It was amazing. I mean, Tony, I grew up watching Tony on shows, and so it was like he walked out of the TV set of my childhood and onto the film set, and he was like, Silas, and he was just an amazing, generous actor to work with. He was so friendly with all the crew. A lot of them, the crew and cast knew him. He brought a ukulele on set and played. He really bonded with Riele. He's telling her stories, a lot of references that she was too young for the movies and stuff, but it was just a great generosity, and also just paying attention to every little detail. Wayne Knight as well, like their friendship in a way echoed Darby and Capri's friendship in some moments, very subtly. But really, they just put everything into these roles, which were fairly small compared to other stuff they've done. But yeah, really, he was just so perfect. They both were.
Well, you were able to put together a good film. I enjoyed it. I'm sure people will enjoy it when they watch it. And let's hope we get another film for you as opposed to years. I know you're going to be working, but let's get another film in the works.
Thank you. Yes, I will take that.
Have a good one.
Okay,
Thank
you too.